Hello and welcome, this is KSV with another casual review. Today we'll be looking at the newly released S.H.Figuarts Nosferatu Zodd from the BERSERK line. So just quickly having a look at the initial what you get. So you get the figure himself, obviously, a whole litany of accessories, and yeah, I think we'll just jump straight into it. So firstly, I'm just going to remove these weapons. That is an aspect I shall talk about in 1 second. So these weapons, pretty good, I would say. Axe, you know, nice bits of chipping detail and stuff like that in there. Comes off nice and easy, so you can slide it in the hand. Here's the, I think this is a cushion weapon, a horse dismounter or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but as you can see, really nice detail, battle damage detail on that, all the scratches, little chips and stuff like that. Very nice. And yeah, to attach this one, it is removing the bottom of the hilt. Now, just going over the figure initially, you do get a nice rendition of Nosferatu Zodd himself. Focus. So, now, I'll just initially go into my thoughts on this figure. First major thought is, yeah, he is a triumph. He is potentially the best figure that they've done thus far for this line. Oh, there we go. Take that off as well. There you go. Now you can see the figure without any of the sort of accessories. This is also removable. There we go. This is just a hilt piece for, you know, if you wanted to look like he's took the hilt off. You know what, I'll keep it off for now. But yeah, looks really good. Great articulation. We'll just have a quick look at some of the details here. Ooh. Getting a bit out of focus there. So, as you can see, he's wearing sort of the attire he wears once Griffith is reborn, and the next time you see him, sort of, I think potentially when Guts gets the Berserker armor, he's wearing this. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but this is basically his main look for the latter half of Berserk when you see him. As the first time you see him, he's literally wearing nothing. So, yeah. So, no, I love the little skull detail here. It's phenomenally sculpted and painted. I must say, there's not a singular paint splodge that I've noticed, or chip, or anything like that on this figure. I have had him for a couple weeks now. I initially was going to make the video straight away, but I thought, you know what, I think I'd rather like mess around with the figure for a little bit first, and then, you know, give my sort of impressions on him then, after messing about. You know, he's pretty decent to pose. You can get him in pretty much any sort of position you'd like to get in, for Zodd-esque poses, so that's pretty good. My favourite sort of part of the articulation, in a weird way, to be honest, actually is the neck joint. Oh, okay. So let's address this elephant in the room. Let's just go straight into it. There are two problems with this figure, in my opinion. They're not major problems. They may be for stop motion major problems. However, it's as much of an advantage as it is disadvantage. these sort of issues that are cropping up. And I can see why they've been done. However, yeah, I'll just get into it. So, if you can see here on the wrist peg, it has all these little notches around it. Just looking right there at that wrist peg, all these little sort of nubs around it. You could potentially say that that is a excess plastic. I kind of thought it was when I first saw it. I was like, oh, is mine messed up? But no, it seems all of them have that. It must be because it is a slightly larger figure in general, but it sort of makes it easier to just pop the ball joint on and pop it off because of these nubs. However, it doesn't really go in all the way, as you can see. Like, you can literally see the little nubs like around it, which is, no matter how hard I push all the way in, they don't seem to want to go away. It's not an overly massive issue, but I have noticed a lot of the times just twisting the hand, it can just come off really easy. This one seems to be like a little sturdier. Oh, but there you go. And that is just me wanting to position the hand. So that could potentially be an issue for you. Maybe mine's just a little bit loose, I'm not too sure. I did, when I got the figure, heat all of these parts up with a hairdryer, so there was no like forcing of the plastic. It moulded nicely, and I left each set of hands on for quite a while, but still, it seems to be a tiny bit of an issue. And the second issue, I don't really want to do this, however, to showcase the issue I kind of have to, and that's the arms. Oh, didn't even notice they've actually written an R in the arm. I don't think you can see that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so these arms, you know, they come off because he has a set of interchangeable arms, which I've had a bit of trouble putting on. So that's to sort of get the gist of what he looks like with the crossed arms on, sort of something like that. Because of the intricacies of this sort of joint. So as you can see, there's a peg here on a ball joint. The instructions do tell you to point this forward and then sort of slide the arm in like so, which again you really have to line it up and then sort of put your finger on the top, but it then does that a lot of the time. So it can be a bit of a task getting the arms back on, but there we go. It's easy when it works and not when it's not. Now, my issue was since pulling the arms off, they've seemed to have lost a lot of their sort of strength in that respect. It's not the worst thing, because, you know, they still move and that. However, I found them to come off a bit easier. However, on this arm, when I pulled this one off, the entire joint actually came out and was stuck inside the arm. And with the way it's designed, I couldn't actually just put it back in because of the way it's designed. So I actually had to pull, luckily, this piece here, as you can see with the cut at the top, you can pull out of this bicep. It is just this floating piece of plastic. As you can see, mine moves probably a bit more than it should now since I've removed it. But, you know, it works fine. So if you do come across an issue like that, just know that you can pull these out and they will go back in quite easily. And that being said, that's probably a lot of the my initial thoughts on this. So I think we'll get into, you know, some more of the articulation and accessories. So to quickly go over the articulation, we've got ball jointed head. Can look around. Can look up really far on these neck joints, and it can look down really far as well. He's looking down at his next victim. Again, ball jointed shoulders, as you've seen those weird little joints that are in there. A rotation here. It rotates fully 360 around. I feel like it's trying to be double jointed, but you only get a single joint in the elbow. However, in all honesty, I'm not going to complain that much, as the range is pretty nice just with the bend anyway. As you can see, like, it doesn't particularly really need to be anymore, in all honesty, for this guy. As you saw, really easy to pop off, but standard ball peg 360 rotation there. Now we do have a ball joint in the waist. As you can see, there's all these different sort of layers going off, however, so you can really hear them all squelching into each other. But yeah, decent bit of range there. The legs kick out this far. They go forward about this far, hindered a little bit by this little tuft of fur. And you do get, again, almost double jointed, but, you know, he's a giant dude. You don't really need more than that, in all honesty. I mean, you can do that. That helps. Rotation up here at the thigh all the way around. You get the gist. Got the standard S.H.Figuarts articulation. The foot doesn't really go up and down a lot far, but you know, you do got the ankle rocker, and you got the toe, and the toe goes down, so you can get him into a lot of sort of, you know, you could get him sort of dynamic in a way. My always go-to is to do like a sort of kicking pose. See how easy and quick you can get a figure into that pose, and that'll sort of give you the gist of. I feel like, again, right now, I feel like this arm has come out. If I rotate it back around, oh no, it hasn't. Yep, yeah, it has. As you can see, slightly troublesome. There's trouble staying in. There we go, I fixed it. Well, you get the gist. Sorry if that's sort of been off camera then. I'm trying out a new tripod, and I'm having to move it a lot further away than I normally do. So for accessories, obviously we've gone over his weapons. There is even a sheathed version that you can apply to him if you want to have it look like his weapon is on. Again, I've already briefly gone over this extra set of folded arms, which again I will not be putting on the figure purely because it is kind of difficult and finicky to do so. I don't think that I would ever pose him with these arms either, to be honest. They don't look bad, but for some reason they just look a lot smaller than the actual arms he's got, because I noticed when I put them on, they looked slightly peculiar, in all honesty. Not a bad thing, but you can clearly tell, I mean, like, look at them fingers compared to these. They're close, but this is just slightly bigger. It's not really coming through on the camera, but believe me when I say these are slightly larger. so it just looks weirdly small for some reason. But yeah. We also have this amazing soft goods piece, nice and furry, and it's all got a wire running through it, which you can sort of see there. I really like the detail of the little paw pads on the sort of end of each leg, I suppose. Yeah, really nice. So we do have some alternate heads as well. So the head that I have on, you know what, I'll just remove it. The head that I have on is this sort of medium angry face, I would call it anyway. If we just get it to focus, there we go. Sort of medium angry face. You can see there from the front, both sides. Again, typical S.H.Figuarts style of, you know, changing face plates. So here's the normal one, side profiles, and this beauty of her face, the all-out rage mode face. Look at them teeth. Awesome. I'll quickly go over as well. You get one pair, sorry, two hands, but one pair of open palms, and a pair of fists that it comes with in the packaging. So I'll quickly lastly show you how to just sort of put bits on. So you are going to want to take his head off if you want to put this piece on. What I then tend to do is sort of position the neck as high up as I can. Put this bit on, purely because you don't want any of these little bits of fur getting stuck in the head when you pop it on. And then just give it a nice, there we go, you can hear it pop in. This still maneuvers about. Yep, nice. You can get his head into a looking position wherever you want. Like I say, these are on wires, so I can literally bend them in any which way. Have it like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Sorry, I started watching The Sopranos. We'll just get him into a little bit of a fighting position. Now I'm putting this in the wrong hand really, but yeah, there you go. As you can see, it's quite formidable looking, really easy to pose and get into some simple, just sort of nice poses really. I'm going to take that off because yeah, should be in his other hand really. Quite a sturdy figure as well. Like if his feet are planted, he's heavy, he ain't moving. He's staying in position. You can get a bit of wild like flick up there like that, you know, sort of ominous. Yeah, I think overall out of 10 I would give this figure a 9. The only thing stopping it from being a 10 is maybe some more sort of shading in the paintwork. There's not really a crazy amount of it going off. It makes him look quite flat, his skin. But apart from that, yeah, bang on. Highly recommend. And yeah, so going forward, it will definitely be used in one of my stop motions. And yeah, I look forward to the next release, which is the Band of the Hawk Guts. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been somewhat useful or insightful. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.